here it is. The last episode of WaterparkRanger, Let's Play Wind Waker. It's over. It's finally over. This massive, massive LP that took 6 months to upload is finally at its end. And Zelda turned back into Tetra, as you can see. And luckily Kamali found us, so we won't be at the mercy of our swim timers. We won't drown out here. That would really suck. That would be a horrible ending. So much for the seeds of the future. And also, the pirates... I was about to say the Pirates of the Caribbean. Tetra's pirate crew finally found us as well. And we haven't seen them since, what, episode 30? It's been forever. I know you've really missed those guys, because I know I have. They're such an awesome group. And in addition, Errol's there as well, so that just makes it even better. Finally, all the loose ends have been tied up. All except for what Tingle's gonna do with all that money that we gave him. All that's really left to do is sit back, smile, and wave. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. So, I don't remember all the names of the pirates, but there's Gonzo with the wheel. There's Nico, waving at us from there. That guy whose name I don't remember. And yeah, Errol gets a new dress as well. Just a small odd detail. The pirates give her a new dress for some reason. Don't know why they did that. And also, Makar and Medley. Of course, they couldn't have stayed down in the temples, otherwise they would have drowned, because, you know, Hyrule is kind of, you know, submerged. So it's great to see everyone again. So, basically, the seagulls flew around their ship, they sang Kumbaya, and all was well. The end. Of course, there's more to the story. It'll be after the credits. So, just bear with me, and let's watch the credits, and... they're not the most exciting credits, so I think I'll take this time to mention something that I wanted to go into depth talking about during the LP, but because so often I was actually just, you know, talking about what was actually happening, and when I did go off tangent, it was usually something really stupid. I think this is a good time for some nice, in-depth analysis. Of course, if that word scares you, you can just skip right to the last 2 minutes of the video. Anyway, I may or may not have mentioned at one point during this LP that the plot of this game is very similar to a film by Hayao Miyazaki. If you haven't heard of him, everyone calls him, you know, the Walt Disney of Japan, basically, in animation. He's made such great films as Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, I think Kiki's Delivery Service even, that's a really good one. Or at least, I loved it a lot as a child. Of course, I haven't seen that movie since I was a child, though I only saw Spirited Away recently. Anyway, before I get off track talking about just Hayao Miyazaki, one of his films is called Castle in the Sky. It is not Howl's Moving Castle, it's in fact a different film. They both just happen to have the word castle in them. Anyway, this film, I think might have been one of his earliest. I'm not sure, but I think, judging by the animation, it was one of his earlier films. It's a good movie. In fact, I really, really recommend that you watch it if you haven't already. Actually, a good amount of people that I know have already seen this film. I don't know. I've never seen the Japanese version. I've only watched the English version. So I've only watched the dubbed version, in other words. But the dubbed voices they have are really quality. I mean, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, in case you don't know, and he also does the voice of the Joker in one of the Batman movies. I forget which. Oh, I'm sure one of you will mention it. And anyway, he's really good. I think he's a really talented voice actor. So, in this movie, Castle in the Sky, it's often been criticized in comparison to the other Miyazaki films for basically not having as inspired a storyline or whatever. And, I mean, I disagree, personally. Maybe it is a little bit more, maybe just slightly more generic the way it's laid out, because the others are kind of all about, like, growing up in a way. Like the kid finding themselves in a new world and adjusting to it and, you know, coping with it. It's about growing up, and it's like the theme that always happens in the Miyazaki films. That's not the same in Castle in the Sky. In Castle in the Sky, the message is kind of like, that was my point. The message is a lot like the message in this game, Wind Waker. The plot, they have very similar plot elements. Like, the whole message is about, ultimately, there's this whole kingdom of the past that's created, basically, the entire storyline for this series. But now it's all coming to an end, basically. And ultimately it had to be washed away to get rid of basically the evil that it could be used for. The bad things that Ganon could have done with the Triforce, basically getting rid of the ocean and ruling over Hyrule with an iron fist like he always wanted to. And now that parallels like elements in Castle in the Sky, actually several elements, which is why I have to say Castle in the Sky is like just like Wind Waker in so many regards, so many respects. Basically, you've got the kid who starts in the small village at the beginning, finds the girl who falls from the sky, being chased or escaping from the capture of the ultimate nemesis of the world, and then kind of discovering, you know, destiny. I don't know how else to put it. That's kind of the way the plot progresses, and eventually going in, breaking people out of a fortress about halfway through the story. That also happens in Castle in the Sky. And ultimately, the Castle in the Sky is just like Hyrule Castle. It turns out that the people once lived in the sky, in the Sky Kingdom, or at least ruled over their entire Earth because it had such great power through very, very advanced technology. I think it was Ethereum or whatever it was they used. So basically, Ethereum was like the Triforce. It was like the power source and the governing source of that kingdom that caused it to be such a strong influence in the world. But ultimately, a descendant or someone like a relic of that kingdom wanted to get their hands on it so they could become all-powerful, which is what Ganon wanted to do. It's also what the villain of Castle in the Sky wants to do. And ultimately, it's the kids who have to, you know, kind of let that old kingdom go and just be content with the new world and try and find new things in it. So those are really similar elements, and it's a fantastic movie, just as Wind Waker is a fantastic game. I think Wind Waker is a great story, though I have to say, it's kind of a sad ending, wouldn't you say? I mean, since the King of Hyrule died, that means that the boat doesn't speak anymore, and I mean, even its eyes are closed, which is kind of morbid. Pretty depressing. And you don't really see the boat after this, either. So who knows? Also, I think that there's a person in the village who's absent from there. Yeah, where's Orca? Was Orca standing there? I don't know, maybe he was there and I just wasn't looking carefully enough. And the postbox is wiggling in the background! We have mail that hasn't been answered yet! Anchors away! Hold the tiller steady! As for our destination, the wind will guide us. And yep, we're gonna set sail, and who knows what we're gonna find. All I can say is okay, there's Orca. I just noticed now, yeah, Abe's not there. What the hell, Abe? You're not there, Abe. Dude, we're leaving Outset Island forever. Can you at least check the mail that I wasn't able to get myself? Seriously, what the hell's in there? What could we possibly have waiting for us in that mailbox? I am now incredibly pissed off because now there's no way I can know. It's definitely the Triforce, isn't it? It's the Triforce. I know it is. The Triforce is in that mailbox, and we're sailing away so he can't get it. Oh, man. And on that note, I loved this Let's Play. I hope you loved it too. See you next time.